Welcome to the Reverse Pivot Coaches Corner section, where we like to share our resources with you coaches and players and just those interested in the game of basketball. We're going to start with a thing we got from one of our guests, Mike Dunlap, on the 6 essentials of good drilling. Doesn't matter if you're coaching seniors, elite, or beginners. You want to make sure that when you introduce a drill, that you explain why the drill is important. How does it relate to the game? Then the next thing, and this is the most important thing, is to get the procedure of the activity down. You go from this line to that line to that line. Oftentimes you ask, okay, does everyone understand? And they don't. And what happens is you end up wasting that valuable time on correcting the procedure. Then you want to make sure that everything is done to time and score. This helps every player involved develop game sense, right? The game is played to time and score, and then you can also add personal best in there. This is the most important thing. Correct on the run, and this is the hardest in our craft, is to, instead of stopping the entire activity to correct one or two people, take them out of the activity so the others can get their repetitions. And the fifth thing is, repetition is Lord and Master. So, right, you're not going to acquire a motor skill if you do not get repetitions done correctly. The next one we have in here is the shot. Every coach has to be able to teach the proper mechanics of shooting the basketball. And that starts with the grip, then your target, then your body alignment to the target, then the upward thrust, and your follow through. I'm not going to go in and change a kid's shot when I will look at it if it's going in. But if it's got a strange rotation, if it doesn't have true backspin on the ball, then the grip is incorrect. So those things, the grip, the target, your body alignment to the target, your upward thrust where your legs and arms extend simultaneously, and the follow through, we tell our kids, hold that follow through until the ball hits the target. The relentless persistence indicators. This is something that evolved through Tom Maher's themes, where the group plays with relentless persistence. Well, what does that mean? So if I'm a substitute, and this was really what we put this in for, we have relentless persistent indicators and our substitute production indicators. So that's sprinting your lanes, right? When you go from defense to offense, try to sprint to get ahead of the ball. It's sprinting to position and remaining in a stance. The hardest thing, according to Brian Gorgian, is moving from one defensive stance and position to another on the flight of the ball. You often find when you watch the games that players who are not in a stance cannot move quickly on the flight of the ball. So sprint to position, get in a stance. Do you block out every possession? Do you pursue the offensive rebounds or seek your defensive transition spots on the shot? Get a loose ball, right? Get to the free throw line. Create a driving lane and get to the rim and, hopefully get fouled and one. Get an offensive rebound. These are the two areas where players get fouled. And for the teams that I've been involved with, we always want to get to the free throw line first and most each and every quarter. Draw a charge. It's the best statistical play in basketball. You gain a personal foul, you gain a team foul, you gain possession of the ball, and you strip them of an opportunity of getting a shot attempt up on that offensive possession. Also in here for you coaches is 6 ways to scrimmage. I think the worst way to scrimmage is just put 20 minutes on the clock and go, because that's not basketball. We don't want to encourage jogging. We don't want to encourage not talking on defense, and these things will occur. The first thing will go as you get tired is going to be talking on defense. And a lot of junior coaches don't know, well, start with I got. I have 8. I have 6. In defensive transition, particularly on turnovers, you're not going to have a chance to get to your man. You have to pick up the closest man. The next thing is the person guarding the ball needs to know where his help is. So help right, help left. And those two things are your starters, right? Then you start giving other prompts. Through, switch, right, show, how you want to establish your defensive culture. 5-on-4 continuous, I learned from the late, great Ken Richardson. And it's a great drill for selection. When you have a large number, 25 players, you can do it up to 50 players if you want. But you get them in teams of 5, and one team starts pressing another team 5-on-4. Though those 4 offensive players are inbounding the ball on the baseline. Now we do this with no dribbling, and then we'll do a game with 1 dribble, and then we'll do a game with unlimited dribbles. When the 5 defenders are pressing the 4 offensive players, the trap should be the norm. So teaching guys how to trap defensively, how to trap, how to sprint to position, get in a stance, how to read the passing angles and put legitimate pressure on the basketball, because the offense cannot dribble. Deflections should be the norm, not the exception. Obviously, defensive talk. So calling out trap, calling out ball on the closeout. Great drill. Then on the other end, when it's 5 offense against 4 defense, it's about rotation. We want the ball pressured. Closest man to the ball, put pressure on the ball. Not waving and pointing. Get up within arm's reach and trace the basketball. Offensively, it teaches us to pass under pressure, to cut effectively into open space, to catch and square up to your basket right away, to pass and sprint to get above the line of the ball. It's a really good drill, and it works on, and you can assess those important things on offense and defense. Here's one of my favorite drills when we were with the North Melbourne Giants, 3-on-3 inside the paint. They can start 2 low posts, 1 high post, 2 high posts, 1 low post. They can start any way they want. They can set up screens, cross screens, back screens, and you have a passer on each wing. So a pass from the coach to the high post, that high post player cannot shoot, but he can feed the low post and he can reverse the ball. A catch from the low post to the high post, that player in the high post can shoot it. It's just he cannot shoot it if it comes from the coach. Great for working on interior passing, establishing low post position, defensively, making it a foot war for that defensive position. We always know less than an elbow in the passing lane on a side front, or we'll say, hey, we need full frontage on this. Great drill. Really improves low post play and low post passing. Another great drill that we made the most of, the North Melbourne Giants, and it's conditioners, 3 to get out. 3 players start at the free throw line, and we match them up by size and skill. So let's say all 3 of my interior players are in the first ones in a line. And then you fill players behind each line. So our next one would be our wings, and the back would be our guards. And you coach tosses it up, and they have to get the offensive rebound and 3 putbacks. And we encourage them, no deliberate, no And the great ones know they put it in, they get the ball right out of the net and go up again quick. So it teaches, and what we ask for, any offensive rebound inside the charge arc, we want you to go straight back up quickly. This is a greater chance of drawing a foul. Once one player makes his 3 baskets, he goes to the end of his line and the next player comes in. Great drill, great conditioner. You can play to time, you can play to a certain score, you can play to where an first individual to make 6 or 9 baskets, or one team gets 12 baskets. Great drill. I hope all these help you. Look, leave comments. If you want to leave one of your very favorite drills, please do so. We're going to be having guest coaches come in with their favorite drills. Those that we've interviewed, Mike Dunlap, Brian Goorjian. I've got a great conditioner from Brian Goorjian that I first saw when he was coach of the Dalong Leopard in China. Tommy Marr has said he's going, Michelle Timms. We're going to hit up on all of them to help you become better at basketball.